Hello, good day, mate. I'm Toshio Maeda, manga artist and anime creator. As well known, the Hentai King or Tentacle Master. I don't know why they are calling me. Probably I can handle tentacles, but sad thing is my own tentacle thing getting saggy, no function. I'm crying.
Thank you for your time today. Really appreciate it.
I appreciate that.
Really do. So we'll get started. A bit about yourself. So where did you grow up, and I guess how did you get into manga? Like, what influenced you growing up?
I was born in Osaka City. As well known, the place so many comedians are born and come to Tokyo. So I have a bit of weird sense of humor. And when I was around 16, I was kicked out from my high school, probably my bad behavior. And I tried to outtalk, to teachers, and they are owned or schooled by me. So they didn't like me, and I was expelled.
Wow. And after leaving school, how did you get into the industry?
Well, I just wrote a letter to my mentor. Actually, my mentor, he turned out to be a slave driver. So hard. We assistant working, the 20 hours a day. 20 hours a day and then no days off, no weekend. Come on. But at the time, just a usual thing. So because we are, we apprentices were slave drivers. No, just slaves. Yes, working so hard every single day, around the clock.
And were you producing, just obviously doing mangas, just doing animation? At the time, like that job. What did that job?
So when I was, the 19 or 20, I got independent from that studio and began to just, work. But at the time, I got a debut as a cover, the magazine cover illustrator. So after that, I just brought my manga works to the editor-in-chief, and he was, your manga is not bad. So I got accepted. So I just, got started my career as a manga artist when I was 20.
Wow. And what was the industry like back then? It was a very different time. Was it, I guess, was manga popular back then?
Yeah, already manga was popular, especially, the shonen manga, manga for boys, and also manga for girls are popular. So I really, had a serious thought about my future, which way I should go. Manga artist for grown-ups, which means erotic manga, and just a simple, manga for boys. And I calculated the lifespan. So the manga artists for boys magazine, their lives are so short, like 10 years. Every 10 years, newcomers, are coming, so talented, gifted manga artists are coming. But on the other hand, the magazine, adult magazine, the manga artists, life could last 30 years. 30 years, 3 times bigger. So definitely I had chosen to be a manga artist for grown-up magazine, erotic magazine.
And that leads into my next question. How did you get into the more adult manga? Did you just start coming up with ideas yourself, or did your boss give you work to do?
At the time, I was kind of a virgin. So sad. I didn't know, the girls. So one, smart editor just found out, Maeda-san, it's my name, right? Maeda-san, I think you have quite rare, experience to just get laid with a girl. Am I right? I think you are right. Sadly, I haven't had an experience, so you should do that a lot. So probably your manga would be so hilarious, fantabulous for viewers or readers. Okay, I got it. So after that, every single week, I went to Bristol, the whole house. So I learned a lot, too much.
And from there, obviously, getting into that side of the industry, in terms of the timeline, did Urotsukidoji, was that one of your, where did that come in, your time?
Urotsukidoji was just
later.
15 years after I got a debut. And at the time, I was sick and tired of creating the similar type of erotic storylines. See, the boy meet girl and have banging and, the breakup or something. So, the cliche, so, old-fashioned way of storylines. And I didn't like that. I was fed up with that. So I created something new. But it was erotic magazine. So the editor-in-chief was really against me, my idea. What? Sci-fi, glory kind of storyline? No way, please. Our readers, they love just, erotic storylines. The couples are in bed and doing there. I think, that sometimes we should do something, more exploring the horizon. Of course, so erotic scene might be included and it might be so great for readers, I promise. And I just, got started such manga. Yes.
I see. And then that's what I was going to ask. Obviously, your work, I don't think there was anyone at the time mixing horror and erotic and sci-fi. Was there anyone else doing that at that time? Or
actually, from my point of view, there's no, the lines. The horror or erotic or sci-fi, it's mixed up. When I was young, there's the clear line about sci-fi things. Our image about sci-fi, space opera, in the space. So in the space, it had nothing to do with such erotic scene. So one manga artist was doing that with the same, the magazine. He was doing such a particular type of sci-fi manga. That's why, the editor-in-chief didn't like that kind of sci-fi things. So I just put some another grotesque, gory, kind of erotic scene into the story. So that's why, the readers, beginning to love my style.
I see. And so moving on, obviously, the big manga, known to the West, obviously, Urotsukidoji. How did you come up with the idea for that?
Actually,
universe?
Some people are saying that probably I'm influenced by Hokusai. The women and the octopus or tentacle things, but I hadn't seen that before actually. But my idea was just at the time the censorship was so strict in Japan. So when men is on ladies, we should cover the the below belt by blanket or just blackout or white out. I didn't like that. So if they are separated like this, it's okay, right? We could depict, but men's thing can't reach because there's a limit about our thing, right? So what if this man could be a monster and have long tentacles, so it could reach anywhere. So if he was a monster, probably the couple of, the tentacle might be, possible. Or 4 or 5 tentacles at the same time attacking ladies. It's okay. So ladies' body will be floating in the air. So position, as an artist, I can depict different angle of the lady's body. So it's the kind of ideal thing for artists to draw the woman's naked body from different angle. So I was so into drawing such kind of things And that's why it got started. The censorship, that created the tentacle things.
So Tentacle was not seen as a... So I know like any sort of region had to be blurred in Japan. So technically Tentacle's not a... It can pass by. It's, more monster.
Yes.
Yeah. And when you started the Urotsukidoji series, what ideas were important to you or themes that you wanted to sort of express in the series? Because it's quite epic.
What inspired me to create Urotsukidoji? Well, actually, I told you that that I was fed up with creating just typical mediocre erotic storylines. So probably the sci-fi glory grotesque story might be quite good for readers. And as just art, it might be a bit different, right? Just ordinary bed scene or the manga scene for mediocre type of erotic manga, it's dull, it's dopey for me. See, so I just like to create the different type, even if it's the ugly, the blood type of scene, it might be okay to me, right? Yes.